We're talking about bankruptcy tonight. We did get an email question while we were away. Jim, he is in threat of being evicted right now. During the rent moratorium during the pandemic, he didn't pay the rent, and now the rent is, well, the moratorium has now been lifted. He wants to know if he files bankruptcy on that, is he allowed to stay in his rental property? Michael?
Well, Jim, that's a very tough situation, especially because you are at the mercy of what your lease contract says. So the first thing that I would say to you is, and before I could make any determination for a definitive nature, I would have to be able to look at your lease, because that lease, that contract document is going to set up what rules and options you may have, because it's going to determine how long we may be able to extend it. In the short run, a bankruptcy would absolutely pause the eviction case. It's just a question of whether or not you would be able to stay in the home throughout the entirety of the bankruptcy. I can tell you that one thing that you would definitely have to do would be to catch up any arrearages or back payments that you might have, and then it at least would provide you the opportunity to work it out potentially with your landlord. Obviously, each situation is different. That contract and that lease is going to really determine a lot of it, but there's absolutely an avenue through which you might be able to stay in the house longer and or extend that lease through a bankruptcy. Absolutely.